Boys and girls, I have been robbed. I have been robbed. It's outrageous, dear. Absolutely outrageous. Do you want the short version or the long version? Oh, I knew you'd want the long version of the story. Only yesterday, I was looking at my rather empty hanging baskets outside, boys and girls. You know, the ones that all the summer flowers have now sadly deceased and have left this planet to go to another world, probably better than the one we're already in. Okay? So I'm looking at these empty hanging baskets and I'm thinking, I'm not really doing anything today. I think it's time to do my winter hanging baskets. So I was going to go down to the garden centre that I usually go down to, just down the road, a place called Long Acres. Massive place, helpful staff, but they never seem to have the queues sorted out there. Oh, it's always a nightmare trying to pay for something. Now, I don't know why this is. There's plenty of checkouts, and they're always usually fully manned. They're very, very good at manning their... Oh, sorry, is that not politically correct anymore? Manning the checkouts. What do you say, I wonder? Personing the checkouts. Eh? Or woman in the... Oh, you know what people are like, dear? There'd be a complaint about that. Oh, that's derogatory against women because you're saying manning the checkouts. Get lost, will ya? I don't do politically correct, dear. Get a sense of humour or indeed a sense of life. You know what I mean? So all these checkouts usually manned, but the queues down at Long Acres in Bracknell are always... I don't know where they come from. I don't know why it takes so long to pay for items in that garden centre. So I thought I would try another one. Oakdale Garden Centre, which is also near Bracknell in Warfield, which is very posh. Oh my God, Warfield is posh, posh, posh. Lots of little detached houses all over the place along lovely country roads. I could never afford... You could never ever afford to live in such a place. I'm telling you that now. So, after setting my sat-nav, off I went and of course I got lost. Yes, it is possible to lose your way around, even when using a sat-nav, boys and girls. It is possible. So after driving around for a while, I found this place, Oakdale Garden Centre, and I had a good look around, and I selected winter pansies. Such pretty little things. Interestingly enough, I had some winter pansies last year, and one of them I left in a pot, okay, in the shade, and right the way through the summer, that winter pansy has continued to flower. Has anyone else found that? Certainly in the UK. Do you do winter pansies? Huh? No, I don't mean do you turn this programme on in the winter and listen or watch me. Winter pansies, you know, the pretty little flowers. Has anyone else managed to make them last all summer long? Now, interestingly, they were in a shaded area of the garden, which I don't think gets much sun, and I think that might have been the secret there. So I may well try the same this year, right? So I picked up, I think, oh, hang on a minute. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I think I picked up 8 lots of winter pansies, and there were 6 in one box. So whatever that is, 6 times 8. I can't do sums. I'll end up counting on my fingers and I'll look silly. I will. What do you mean I look silly anyway? Anyway, so I got these winter pansies, took them out, that's it. Brought them back home. It was quite early in the afternoon, about 1 o'clock. You see, anyone listening or watching the show at the moment who knows me as a club DJ, this is what happens when DJs start getting older, right? When you're in your 20s, there you are at home, you wake up in the morning, on goes your stereo system, blasting out music non-stop, and then you take your music to work and blast it out again there, and then you have loud music on in a car when you go to and from work, and you get home, you get to bed, and then the next day you get up and do it all over again. Well, after 27 years, that gets to you. And DJs that have done it for a long time, what do with their time off? They go out and they make hanging baskets in the quietness of the gardens here in rural Berkshire. So I got back and started. I took my 2 baskets off the front of the house. Now they're quite high up because I did have a couple stolen once. I did. No, that's not what was stolen. I'm coming to that. Don't rush me. You're always trying to rush me, aren't you, with the story? Don't rush me. Took the 2 hanging baskets down from outside, did those, got my very large green watering can from the back garden, watered it, and that's it, put them back up. Then I did all the hanging baskets out the other side, right? And by the end of it, I think I'd done 10 altogether. And they're all looking, is it 10 or 12? 10 or 12 hanging baskets. And they've all now got little winter pansies. I didn't know what else to put in them. What other flowering things? I mean, you can get plenty of greeneries like mini conifers and things like that to put in these hanging baskets. But I do like a bit of colour, don't you? And these winter pansies, they're all like yellow and purple and red. Beautiful things. Beautiful things for the eye to see. And hopefully they will give me a splash of colour all year long. They really will. Very, very nice. Oh, I've got to do Mum and Dad's grave up next. Yep, I have to go and get some more winter pansies for those. And I might try yet another garden centre. I mean, you know, it's all very sad, I think, when the highlight of your week is visiting a garden centre that you haven't been to before. How sad is that, eh? Oh well, so I'd done those, so all done. Watered them with my large green watering can. That's it. Went to bed for the afternoon, got up, went to work, did my karaoke night in Birmingham. Nice good night again, as always. Finished that and come to bed. And I got up this morning and I thought to myself, I don't remember, because I also put some of these winter pansies in a couple of pots out the front. I don't remember watering those. So I went to my garden and I'm looking around for my large green watering can. Boys and girls, it seems a burglar has broken in somehow and stolen my large plastic green watering can. I mean, what is the world coming to? You can't even leave a watering can outside your front house. Well, I don't think it was outside the front, but I think it must have been. I honestly don't see a burglar jumping over the fence, stealing a green watering can and leaving everything else. Do you? So I think I must have left it out the front. So, if you are in Bracknell, listening or watching this programme in Bracknell, I want you to check, whenever you see your neighbour watering their plants, are they using a large green watering can without the sprinkler? Okay, because I took the sprinkler off a long time ago. Should have a little sprinkler on the front, but it doesn't. I took that off a long time ago. Now, I want you to be my eyes and ears. Come on, we are friends, aren't we? Huh? How much do we share with each other, you and I? Eh? Exactly. I want you to carefully watch your neighbours, boys and girls, if you're in Bracknell, and see, especially if they're in the Hanworth area or Birch Hill, is someone using a large green watering can to do their plants? If so, please let me know. Take pictures, okay? You'll probably have to do that behind your net curtains, okay? There will be twitching net curtains in the area of Hanworth within Bracknell, let me tell you that. Take pictures of your neighbour watering their garden and send them through to the email address to contact the show as always. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. This is a very serious issue. I haven't rung the police yet, but I think they'd be very, very interested to know that your Chris Reardon has been burgled for his green watering can. You see, it's not as simple as it sounds. What with me being a major celebrity of the world, almost on the same levels as Madonna and Justin Timberlake, right? That green watering can will be worth an awful lot of money on eBay. I can see it now. Green watering can, as used by Chris Reardon, host of United Kingdom Talk. since October 2005. I can see it now on eBay. Thousands of pounds could be got for that. And this is why I'm concerned about Millie. Now, Millie, regular correspondent to the show, recent visitor here to England, right? I gave her the old United Kingdom Talk flag. Now, Millie, I'm a bit concerned now that you have put it up in your house and people will want to burgle you for that flag. So you've got to be very careful there, my love, okay? So please take pictures of your neighbours trying or using my stolen green watering can and send them through to the usual email address, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Also, on the same email, have you got a few pictures of yourself or your family, perhaps? Or your loved ones, or the house you live in, or the area you live in, or, even better, mini little videos? If you want to email those across to me, I can put them on. I have behind me in the studio a flat screen on the wall. If you watch the show, you'll be able to see it as well. And on there, I like to put pictures of listeners and general aspects of anyone's life. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as we don't want any porn, we don't want any mucky stuff. Not on this programme, thank you very much. It's a clean, family-based show. So if you've got any pictures that you want revolving on the little film behind me, do send them in, because I'm fed up looking at the same old ones of me. Please send me in your pictures. Same email address, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, or indeed a little mini film or something like that. You know, I don't know, 30 seconds long. Perhaps you could send me a link and I can download it from somewhere. That would be rather marvellous. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co, or you could upload it to YouTube and I can get it straight from there. I can save videos from there, okay? chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Watch out for my green watering can. They're not cheap, dear. Must have cost at least £12, that. Don't laugh. You wouldn't be laughing if it was your green watering can stolen, would you, dear? It's outrageous. Right, on to emails. Tom Harris from TomHarrisUSA.com, a fellow podcaster, writes about the spider that bit him. Do you remember a few shows ago he wrote in and told us once that he was bitten by a spider? Ow! Incidentally, there seems to be an awful lot of spiders in the garden this year, which aren't a problem here in the UK. They don't attack. But there are rather a lot of spiders in the garden, and I saw one the other day eating one of those nasty old flies. If you ask me, there's not enough spiders in this world. We need more spiders to get rid of the flies. Hi, Chris. Ari the spider that bit me. It was never determined exactly what type of spider bit me, since I never actually saw it. But considering the symptoms following the bite and environment, I picked it up in a dusty theatre basement. It's most likely been a brown recluse. Oh. I wonder what a brown recluse is. Is that the name of the spider? It's a strange name for a spider, a brown recluse. So there we are. That's the spider that bit Tom. I know an old lady who swallowed a spider. She swallowed a spider to catch a fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. Do you know that one? I know an old lady who swallowed a cat. She swallowed the cat to catch a spider. She swallowed the spider to catch the fly. I don't know why she swallowed a fly. Perhaps she'll die. I mean, I could go on for the rest of the show for that one. No. Pardon? No, we are not playing What's in the Bag. Oh, that's what a Ross Patzel's thing. Have you heard Ross Patzel's What's in the Bag? What's in the Bag? What's in the Bag? With Ross Patzel. Ross Patzel is another fellow podcaster. rosspatzel.co.uk. Colourful language on that one, boys and girls. And he does this thing, What's in the Bag? And he has a bag and he makes a rustling sound. And then you have to Skype in and guess what's in it. I've never got it. He's probably got some very, very strange things in those bags of his. Usually half-eaten, but no, well, it wouldn't be half-eaten burgers, because let me tell you, Ross never, ever leaves any food on his plate, as you can see from his size. I spoke to him yesterday, and he's got the audacity of calling me fat, right? Because I'm a 36 waist, and he's a 34. But here's the thing, I don't get this, right? How comes he's a 34 waist, right? And he weighs 14.5 stone, and I am a 36 waist, and I weigh 13.5 stone. I don't get that at all. Anyone explain that one to me? Huh? Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Tom Harris saw the collapsing chair a few shows ago, which I did say I was going to get rid of. I have to say, I have not yet disposed of the said chair. And he says, I think you're underestimating the possible comedic value of keeping that chair. Can't you just put a new screw in there and fix it? Well, actually, I did. And it did fix it. Not before my dear little nephew, Jimmy, 12 years old, sat there watching one of my programmes with his mother in bed, laughing his head off at poor old Uncle Chris when his chair started collapsing. Oh, yes, he found that a source of great amusement, my little nephew Jimmy. Which is a shame, really, because I do feel that that sort of amusement needs to be reflected in his Christmas present. How funny is it to see Uncle falling off his chair? How funny is it to see the disappointment on his face when he gets an empty box for his Christmas present? Ha ha ha! Tom also says about me, he thinks, I managed to go on holiday and spend hardly any money. I don't see the point of it. If you're having a good idea, why go out of your way to spend loads of money? Please tell me that one. Eh? Tom says, because I did go to Australia twice, and I think I did in 5 weeks I spent very little money. I think it was, how much was it altogether now? I can't even remember now. Can't remember. You see, I don't drink, I don't smoke. I don't like expensive restaurants. I don't really like going shopping. Okay? What else is there to spend your money on? Trips, okay, yeah. Train fares and all that, fair enough. But I don't spend much money on holiday. He says, being a cheapskate on vacation, in your defence, Chris, travelling on the cheap can be as rewarding in its own way as doing a trip properly. I said, what you mean by doing the trip properly? I did my trip properly, dear. I did. I certainly didn't spend a lot of money on my recent United Kingdom trip, and I don't feel that I had any less of a good time as a result. All I really need in a hotel, bed and breakfast, is a place to sleep and maybe breakfast. And I don't know if it's really worth it to pay too much. A posh place might be nice, but to me isn't really worth the expense. But of course, in Millie's case, she requires accommodation that can properly provide for her needs, and of course, that means she'd be better off paying more. I bet she enjoyed being pampered a bit. Oh, yeah. Oh, she loved that hotel, Millie. Yeah, Millie stayed at the Marriott in Holborn. Oh, my God. Posh isn't the word. I noticed there, Tom, you said, all I need is a place to sleep and maybe breakfast. You didn't mention a shower. And I'm wondering if that was what the smell was when he was sitting next to me in Belushi's. Was there no shower in your hotel, lovey? Tom also writes, on the subject of Suko's recent emails, it's obvious from her emails that Suko just doesn't appreciate the attention you give her. However, I do hope that if you make it over to New York, you think of all your other fans and do a United Kingdom Talk coast-to-coast road trip. You could stop in Chicago, Akeley, Virginia, Tennessee, and many other places of interest and see all the fans that do appreciate you. I think that's a good idea, Tom. I think what I'll do is fly into New York at the closest airport possible to Suko, hire a car straight from the New York airport and drive immediately from there past Suko's house to visit all my other friendly United Kingdom Talk listeners. What a fantastic idea. Thank you, Tom. Nice to hear from you, sir. Aren't we awful? Now, I was going to tell you some other stuff, or read... No, I must read this because it's been waiting a while. This has... from the rather wonderful Robert in Iceland. Hello, Robert. He says, Dear Chris, thoughts from Ireland... Sorry, thoughts from an island in the far north. The passing of Senator Kennedy was indeed a sad day for all. He had great wisdom, and I rather think history will recall that his failure to become president both tragic and a great loss for the American nation. A sign of winter can now be heard in the mornings and evenings, the call of the geese as they practice the huge V formations. Now, I've actually heard those a few times flying here over Bracknell. Yes. And of course, soon the mornings will fall silence, signalling that they have started their long journey. A journey in which the fruits on this year fly with their cousins. Many of the swans will make their way south to England and the county of Norfolk. I note also that the lack of Arctic terns, for they must have already left for the South Pole to live their lives in perpetual summer. Oh, I wish I could live my life in perpetual summer. I love this little unassuming bird that can be seen all over, and yet, how many of us realise the fantastic journey that this bird makes every year? Isn't it wonderful being a bird? Just able to fly from country to country, miles and miles. These birds fly, don't they? It is true that we almost live two lives here in Iceland, one for the summer and one for the winter. With each comes its own personality, and it is a delight. Though sometimes the guest of winter has to be told to leave when the month of April comes. It hangs on with grim determination and the nagging thought that this time it may not go. And then a morning comes when the sky is blue and the air warm, and summer once again has come to visit. These are the warm thoughts we keep inside as we battle snowstorms. Winter, though, brings with it the joys of skiing. Oh, no, thank you. And the shimmering green curtain of light that is the Northern Lights. And not forgetting sitting inside, nice and warm, listening to the stories of my friends on United Kingdom Talk. And that's from Robert. Lovely story there, Robert. And funnily enough, I was thinking that the other day, you know, here we are about to enter winter here in the UK. It won't be too bad for another 6 weeks or so. Maybe even we keep the cold at bay possibly until January, but usually January it does get very cold. But then when it gets cold in January, what have we got? January, February, cold months, and then we start warming up again. So I mean, you know, it's not as bad as we make out sometimes. I hate the cold, and in fact, to escape the cold this year, I have decided, after actually talking to Millie a couple of times on the Facebook. I am on Facebook if you want to join me on there. Facebook and Twitter. I don't use Twitter much, but you do get the updates, okay? I'm on Facebook quite a lot. And my Facebook and Twitter names are both the same, Chris Reardon UK. All right, Chris Reardon UK. Drop me a little note or something if you want to become a friend on there. As I say, you get all the updates. Say, hello, I'm so-and-so, I listen to your show or something like that. And I'll always read out your little messages on there. Once again, my Facebook and Twitter names are Chris Reardon UK. Now, after talking to Millie, I've decided that next year it's time for another visit to Australia. I love the country. Absolutely love the country, and more than that, I love my family who's over there. And it's a funny thing, really. It's a very, very strange thing, because when do you know, that's funny, I've got a pen here, ibishotels.com.au. How funny is that? That's come from the Ibis Hotel that I stayed at in Melbourne. Probably going to be staying there again. I have lots of family in Australia. When I was a child, When we used to go round to uncles and aunties' house, wasn't really into that. Don't know why, just never really looked forward to going. And yet now, my family, wherever they are, in Australia or here in the UK, are so important to me. I have uncles and aunties and cousins who live in Australia. And that's the best part of going there. Not the sights, going to visit them. I love it. I absolutely love it. I don't stay in people's houses. I don't know why. I like to stay in a hotel and kind of, you know, you're your own person, aren't you? You get up when you want, this, that and the other. And I don't want to be trouble to anyone. I don't like to be trouble to anyone. Having to get up and to make breakfast and all this business. No, I'm very independent like that. I also have a lot of friends, a few people that have moved to Australia, and indeed a few people that are moving to Australia this year. So I've got those to visit as well. And both of those are, there's three of them actually, three of them are in Melbourne. So I'll be paying another visit to Melbourne. And do you know what? As I sit here talking to you, I'm really excited about this. I can't wait to go again. And I think probably go in February, March or January, February, when it's at its coldest here. Not during the Mardi Gras period in Sydney, because there's just too many poofs in one area for me, dear. Oh, I can't bear that. You know me, dear. Too many in one place. So I'll probably be going that time. I think this time I'm going to try Virgin Atlantic. And the reason is, I did go business class with BA before on both occasions. Again, I've saved up the money now, so I'm ready to buy the ticket. But I had 78,000 miles, and I told you this on another show, and unfortunately they lapsed. And when I rang them up and I said, oh, you know, I did have all the, oh, nothing we can do, I'm sorry, sir. So really, there's no sort of pull for me to go with them again. And I've heard that the Virgin Atlantic experience in upper class, which is the same as their business class, is actually a better experience than the BA one. So I'll try it and I'll let you know how that goes. And I'm hoping to book that ticket in a few days' time. Now, I kind of keep waiting to see if there's going to be a special offer of some sort, because a lot of the airlines have been coming down with special offers all over the place. Certainly since the beginning of the year, but the ones to Australia don't seem to have been forthcoming. Whether or not that's because the route is busy anyway, then my guess that's why, so it's not going to happen. But definitely I think I'm going to have a look at the Virgin Atlantic site and book the tickets. Once I book the tickets, I'm away. And I'll do, last time I did 5 weeks, which actually was probably a bit too long, so this time I think I'll just do the 3 weeks and be done with it. And get all the pampering on the plane and all that. Oh, it's lovely. I only stay in cheap hotels, somewhere like Ibis hotels. Last time I stayed, when I was in Sydney, I was at the Stella Suites, which are all very nice, but quite expensive. As I say, as Tom was saying now, I don't need to stay in an expensive hotel, right? Somewhere like the Ibis, it's basic. You get a telly, you get a shower, you get a kettle to make your tea. What more do you want? And they do breakfast downstairs, and they got internet in there and everything, so it's brilliant. So that's probably what I do, and I very, very much look forward to doing some shows out there with the people I meet, I hope. All right? So, holiday on its way. It's time to do that booking, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. There we are. That's all from the show today. Thank you very much, as always, to your emails. Oh, look! A couple of emails here from Suko. What a shame, Suko. I didn't have time to read them out, my darling. Maybe on the next show, all right? But only if you're very lucky. If you want to join in, please feel free to do so. The email to the show, and send in the pictures of yourselves and the family if you want them to appear on the back as well. Chris@UnitedKingdomTalk.co.uk. Chris@UnitedKingdomTalk.co.uk. And watch out for my green watering can. See you on the next show. Thanks for listening and watching. Bye-bye.